Welcome everyone, I am Tim Anderson aka Renfail, and if you've stumbled upon my video for the first time, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Solasta, Crown of the Magister. More specifically, we're going to be talking about which campaign you should play through first if you've never played the game before, or does it even matter? With 2 campaigns already out for the game and a third coming in May of 2023, I'm recording this video in late March of 2023. Palace of Ice is just a few months away, and some of you might be going, well, holy moly, I gotta get caught up on this game and play through the first couple of campaigns before Palace of Ice drops, or does it even matter? Do I need to play through both those campaigns? Can I just do one of those campaigns? Help! So hopefully I'm going to be able to answer those questions for you today here with this video. Now, if you're new here, I got to do the prerequisite: like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update, because I do play a lot of Solasta and other CRPGs. So if you like the old school top-down isometric style games like Solasta, Dragon Age, Icewind Dale, Neverwinter Nights, Baldur's Gate, so on and so forth, you're in the right place, because I do a lot of these. But I also play MMORPGs, I play shooters, I play sports games, I play games of all types. I play console games, PC games. I also do movies, books, shows, and other reviews. So make sure to check out the other playlists on the channel. And if you can, drop a super thanks on this video or a membership to support. In the meantime, let's go ahead and dive into Solasta, Crown of the Magister. So when this game first launched, it launched with a base campaign called, literally, Crown of the Magister. So the rule set for this game, if you've never played Solasta, it's 5th edition rules. So if you've ever played 5th edition D&D, you're going to be familiar with the rule set. However, it has its own unique intellectual property in the sense that it's its own world called the Realm of Solasta. And the Crown of the Magister campaign is all about the Badlands and the treasures. There was a cataclysm, there's these wastelands, there's ruins throughout the wastelands. You're going to be exploring the ruins and its treasures, but there is also an overwhelming threat that's kind of in the background, looming over what's called the area known as the Principality of Masgarth. And the game starts out in one of the coolest ways I've ever seen an actual CRPG start out, like the old Icewind Dale game, where your party of adventurers starts off in a tavern. Your mercenaries brought together under the theme of coming in and helping out with this threat, and you're being hired by the local ruler, and you go through the campaign and go from there. Now, depending on the level of play, you're going to get in the ballpark of around 40 hours of gameplay out of Crown of the Magister. Now, I got 60 out of my first playthrough, but I played pretty much a completionist journey with a lot of scum saving and scum loading. So I spent a lot of time. I streamed the entire set of adventures, so if you ever want to go back and check those out here on my channel from when the game first launched, you can totally find those. But Crown of the Magister was the campaign that launched it. Now, later on, they came out with the Lost Valley campaign, and this is basically where the Principality of Masgarth is preparing for war. The adventurers discover sites in the Badlands that have lain undisturbed for centuries, including the Lost Valley. And as you get into the Lost Valley campaign, you're going to find that there's a lot of weirdness going on. There's this crazy protector ruler who's kind of lording over this region, and there's factions that you have to worry about, and which factions do you want to help, because you can't help them all, and exploring the valley and trying to find your way out so that you can get back to helping with the war effort. It's a lot shorter. I'd say it's about half as long as the Crown of the Magister campaign. And one of the questions I was asked recently, which inspired me to make this video, is, do I need to have played the Crown of the Magister campaign to play the Lost Valley campaign? And I would say that probably not. You are going to be missing some of the context of who people are, what the various races are, because in this game, if you've never played it before, if we were to create characters, let's just go ahead and change this guy, for example. We've done a character creation video, which you can go check out at your leisure, and we have an additional video that's coming out soon, which covers all the races, and another video that covers all the classes of this game. But essentially, you have, if we were to go in here to do new character, you've got some races that are unique to Solasta, like the Dragonborn. So they've also got their own version of half-orcs. But the Dragonborn, as an example, are part of the unique intellectual property, the unique world that they've built for Solasta. So in this case, the Dragonborn, it says, came into being as the fruit of the dalliances of polymorph dragons with humanoid lineages. Well accepted in the Manakalan Empire, they became secretive and reclusive after the Cataclysm, self-reliant but keeping to themselves. So this is one of those areas where you might have a little bit of a I don't want to call it confusion. You won't be confused, but if you go straight to the Lost Valley campaign as opposed to doing the Crown of the Magister campaign first, you might be missing a little bit of the nuance in terms of, well, what's the Mankalan Empire? What was the Cataclysm? Things of that nature. Now, those are also things that you can very quickly find online. So if you just want to do a little bit of reading and then dive into the Lost Valley, it's totally cool, because the Lost Valley is going to be a much shorter experience than going through the actual Crown of the Magister campaign. However, for my money, I would highly suggest that you do the Crown of the Magister campaign first, so that you get the full nuance of understanding everything about this world. Understanding that you probably need between 35 and 45 hours, depending on the type of playthrough that you're going to do. So it is it's a pretty big time investment, but it's totally worth it if you like these CRPG top-down isometric games where you can go in and play through these at your leisure. And if you've never played through this before, I do a lot of scum saving in my campaigns because it's turn-based and there's dice rolls that are happening all the time. So regardless of which campaign you're playing, there's going to be a lot of options that they're going to be completely different when you do a different playthrough based on the characters that you have in your party, because not everyone is going to be able to make the rolls that are necessary for like lore checks and understanding languages and so on and so forth, because you have to pick when you're doing character creation what your characters know, and you can only take 4 characters with you. So there is a lot of replayability in here, whether you want to go back and do 2 or 3 runs of Crown of the Magister or 2 or 3 runs of the Lost Valley campaign. You will get largely the same experience, but you'll have these little pockets of each campaign that are slightly different, and you might get some different character options in conversations because of the characters you take through their various factions, who you've chosen to help versus who you've chosen to fight against, so on and so forth. But as we lead up to the Palace of Ice campaign, I would highly suggest just play through Crown of the Magister first if you have the time, then go through Lost Valley. Both campaigns are going to start you off at level 1. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, both of these do level 1 to 12, which I think is the max level is 12. It's been a while since I've Crown of the Magister, and it was level 10, I think, when I went through it the first time, but then they increased the level a little bit. So, I think it's 1 to 12 these days. I could be wrong on that. Somebody correct me in the comments below, because that might be an area where I'm a little bit mistaken. You can also do user campaigns, where you can come in and load a campaign that's made with the Dungeon Maker if you've never used the Dungeon Maker. And that's where you get into like the custom campaigns, which we're not going to be discussing in this video because that's a whole nother beast in and of itself. But people actively make their own campaign worlds using the Dungeon Maker, so you can go get other people's campaigns to play through as well. But if you're just looking at the official campaigns of the game that are out as of March 2023, you can pick between Crown of the Magister or the Lost Valley. Very soon, we're going to have Palace of Ice, which I can't wait to play through. So if you like this video and you want to watch me play, right now I'm actually streaming the Lost Valley as of March 2023, doing a live playthrough of the Lost Valley here on my channel, and we will be doing the Palace of Ice when it comes out in May, so hopefully you'll stick around for that. In the meantime, like, subscribe, hit that bell icon if you haven't already done so, and please support the channel with a super thanks on this video. You can also do a membership. There's 3 different tiers. If you catch me live, you can do a super chat, and don't forget we have a Patreon page with our own tabletop world, point-and-click adventure game, and fantasy book series. There's a Discord down below, and I will see everybody in the next episode. So until then, happy gaming, and have fun, everyone, because Solasta is a really awesome game.